Hello everyone, we are going to continue with our makeup use up series. Today I have here 20 foundations and concealers that I would like to use up this year. Before we proceed, I wanted to clarify something. Like a lot of you gave me feedback that 20 palettes, 20 foundations for that matter is a lot. And I totally understand it. I know it. When I was going through my 20 palettes, which now sit right here, I was feeling like this overwhelming feeling of stress. Like, how am I going to use that up? And I want to feel that. I need to feel that in order to prevent myself from doing any more purchases this year. So you can say this is my no buy year, but the way I'm accomplishing it is by trying to use up the makeup that I already own. That's my strategy for my no buy year. So you can say this is my no buy year, or you can call it my makeup use up year, whichever way it is. When I do my next purchase of makeup, I want to feel extremely glad that I acquired it, and I haven't felt that in a long time. I had the urge to kind of go and return stuff when I did my last purchases. I still have about 2,000, almost 3,000 points accumulated on Ulta. I did not make platinum this year, which means those points are going to start expiring, which means I'm going to start, getting stuff for those 2,000 points. But at this point of time, I'm feeling overwhelmed with that. I don't want to feel like that. So that's the reason why I'm doing this series this year. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am aware that it is near impossible to use up that much makeup in a year. Even if I end up making substantial dent in these products, I would be really happy. Okay, so the products I have here are not necessarily kind of at the top of my liking right now. I did like them at one point of time, but since getting them, I have ended up acquiring foundations that I like way more. Most of them are, I would say, at least a year old. And yes, I know that foundations expire. This one still has a good expiry date. It expires this year. So all the foundations in this tub, the foundations and concealers, mainly the foundations, are a bit off for me. I don't know if I kind of acquired a tan this summer and it never went away, or what the deal is, but I remember thinking that all these shades matched me perfectly. Actually, the very first foundation I have in here used to be my absolute favorite. This is the Boots number 7 foundation in Deeply Honey, and this is where I'm at. I actually have used up one full bottle of this, and then when I opened my backup bottle, it had already gone bad. So I dumped it and purchased this one, and then discovered many other foundations that I like more. And this is what the shade is. It's a tad bit on the cooler side for what I would like. Actually, I'm thinking that I might be able to mix some of these shades with each other because some of them are a little bit too warm for me, like this NYX Total Control Drops foundation in Golden Dore. This is a very liquidy foundation. Where is one? This is the cool tone one. So as you can see, this is a bit too warm, too cool. Then I have a L'Oreal Infallible foundation. Really liked it when I purchased it. The shade is 285 Golden Sun. This is here. I think the tone is correct for me, but it's still on the lighter side. It would have been better if it was a bit darker. So I'm gonna definitely have to adjust it. I might be able to mix these two. Then I have another foundation that I used to absolutely love. Oh, did I show you how much I have used up in the other two? So this one is almost full. NYX Control Drops are like up to here. The number 7 foundation is like here. So let's get into Fit Me. I have marked the Fit Me here, but it's kind of by looking in. I wish it did come with a pump. The shade number is 240 Golden Beige. At one point I thought this was so perfect that I ended up buying my other foundations in the store by matching it to this foundation in the drugstores where you're not allowed. Sorry, I have a little tag here, but so put it here. Let me add a little bit more of the Boots. Okay, so that's the Boots, NYX, L'Oreal, and then this is the Maybelline Fit Me. And as you can see, it does come really close. So that might be the foundation that I'm able to use just as is. Next I have a Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation in the shade Caramel. This is the one that I purchased based on the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I used to absolutely love the finish that I got with this foundation when it was paired with the Wet n Wild Photofocus primer. So I'm gonna let it dry down. It does look a tad bit yellow yellower than what I am here. Then I have an e.l.f. foundation. This is the one that I've used up the most. This is the oil-free foundation and the shade is called Caramel. This is definitely a little bit lighter for me, a little bit more pinkish for me. The final foundation I have in here is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer and the shade is called Malaga. Even though it's a tinted moisturizer, I think it's still a bit too pink for me. I might need to adjust it a little bit. So those are my foundations. I have 7 foundations in here. And then to adjust them, I have put my e.l.f. Mix to Match adjusters. I have a full video review of these and kind of a demo of how to use them. And then I have a Cover cream in the shade Sheer Espresso and Revlon Photo Ready Skylights. I think it's a bronzer. I purchased it from Big Lots, for like $2 I think at one point of time. Again, with the same thought in mind that I wanted to use it to kind of adjust my foundations. So I'm going to use these products to adjust these shades that I have going on. Okay, now let's move on to the concealers. I have 13 concealers actually here, but I think that they're not all usable. My purpose of the concealers in here is to figure out if they actually work for me, and if not, to get rid of them. Okay, so I definitely got rid of my oldest concealer. It was an e.l.f. concealer in this weird cream color. I actually used it as an eyeshadow in the liquid lipstick as an eyeshadow hack video. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. It was kind of a fun video. But I actually need a darker shade to do the concealing. The only way I can use the lighter shades is kind of for a highlight. That's what the very first one is for. It's the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. The shade is called CW 3.5. Too light for sure. This is from my very early on attempts to do concealing and contouring. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to buy. I have the Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer in the shade Medium Deep Tan. This is actually the shade that I like to go with when I'm concealing because it counters the purple thing I have going on under my eyes. I have an Ulta concealer. I actually used to like this one, but as you can see, it's almost full. Because the only concealers that I kind of reach for over and over again are my Shape Tapes. There are two Makeup Revolution concealers. When they came up with these new concealers, I bought two, C12 and C13. They have like that wide doe foot applicator similar to Shape Tape. I remember that I liked it. So like the C13 is too dark, C12 is too light. And when I mix them together, I feel like I have a good concealer shade for myself. Then I have a NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Medium Dark Caramel. I remember liking this as well, but I think it's a bit too light. I remember liking the consistency. I have two Maybelline Fit Me's. Again, one is dark, one is light. I actually am wearing these today, and I realized that the light shade is way too light for me. There's no way I can use this shade for anything other than highlighting. Like, look at that. They are about here on each of them. I have the Flower Beauty Concealer. Again, I had liked the consistency. This is the M5 D1 Medium. I think that's the shade I have of the foundation as well. Then I have a It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer and Highlighting Duo. It has like a brightener on one end. And this is supposed to be the concealer. I really like this concealer. It's very creamy, very comfortable, almost perfect shade for concealing purplish under eyes if that's what you have. A really old LA Gold Pro Concealer. Shade is GC978 Medium Beige. Used to like it at one point of time. I don't like the applicator on this though. Now I feel like it is too light for me. Again, from that era when I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to use a lighter shade to conceal. And to counter that, I have the color correcting concealer from LA Girl as well. GC990. This is like very orangey concealer. So I have like this color corrector for the eyes. And then I have this Color Sans Color Your Spirit weird thing that I got from India, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, but I think it's actually a color corrector. And as per what Jackie Aina mentioned, this might be a more appropriate color corrector for my skin tone, and this might be designed more for darker skin tones. Don't know. I'm gonna try and use this one up. And then the final product I have is a Morphe concealer. This is fairly new. I think I got it when I got the James Charles palette. Oh yeah, we need to talk about palette regrets. I like the shade, not so much a fan of consistency. So there you go. Those are my 13 concealers, 7 foundations. And then I have the color adjustment stuff in here. And then I have the additional Color Sans color corrector for the face or something like that. Let me know what you guys think of my spread here. Do you think I'll be able to use it up or not? I'm being very consistent with wearing my makeup and not lazy like I used to be recently. I'm wearing the Natasha Denona number 4 palette over my eyes today. So hopefully, you know, I'll have success this year, and then next year I'll be free to purchase and spend more money on makeup. Or maybe I won't want to spend any, right? All right. So thank you again for joining me, and have a very money wise rest of the week. Bye.
All right.